Hello everyone, my name is Joseph and welcome back to the Popsicleknight channel. This video is sponsored by PTCGLstore.com, a great place for you to buy Pokemon TCG code cards. Please remember to use my code KNIGHT22 at checkout so that you can get a 5% discount. Before going into the video, please take a second to click that like button, and we're on the road to getting 9,000 subscribers to this channel, so please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for all of your support, and I hope you guys are enjoying the content I put out in this channel. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at Grapploct from the PALDEAN FATES expansion set. Grapploct is quite dangerous thanks to its attack, slow acting syncope. For a single fighting energy, it deals 30 damage, but then, at the end of your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon will be knocked out. The effects of this attack of course is easily negated if your opponent can switch out their active Pokemon. This is why I've included 2 copies of SPIDOPS EX in this deck so that we can prevent our opponent from retreating. It has the Trap Territory ability. For each of these Pokemon in play, it adds 1 additional energy to your opponent's retreat cost. So basically the idea is to use Grapplokt's attack to activate the instant KO effect. And SPIDOPS EX will act as a disruption so that your opponent cannot retreat their Pokemon. But of course, if your opponent has a lot of retreat options, you can always just attack with SPIDOPS EX. It has the attack Wire Hang. For 1 grass and 1 colorless energy, it deals 90 plus damage and an additional 30 more damage for each retreat cost on your opponent's active Pokemon. As for the other cards worth noting, I've also included the new Technical Machine, which allows you to use Crisis Punch. For 3 colorless energy, if your opponent only has 1 prize card remaining, this attack deals 280 damage. And this may just be enough to finish off one of your opponent's 2 prize Pokemon. And if you happen to be behind on prizes, you can use the Reversal Energy to act as 3 energies of every color, attach it on Grapploct to power up this attack for that final blow. Next is a copy of this Technical Machine to give your Pokemon the Evolution attack. For 1 colorless energy, you can evolve up to 2 of your benched Pokemon. Luxurious Cape also helps to add 100 HP to Grapploct, which could help increase its survivability, but use this wisely since your opponent will be taking an extra prize if they knock out your Grapploct with an attack. And I also have Earthen Vessel to help search for basic energies from our deck. Finally, for my supporters, I have Avery for some disruption, Clara for recovery, and Raihan for energy acceleration and card search. The strategy for this build is really simple, but difficult to execute, especially if your opponent has a ton of switching cards, or they can easily take out your SPIDOPS EX. But other than that, this build is actually pretty annoying to go against. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description below. Now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing Grapploct. Alright, on to our first match. We are going to start this one with a Clobbopus in the active spot. And my opponent is actually going first in this matchup. So technically we can use our supporter cards, but with nothing in sight, we actually have a really bad starting hand here. And we're going against a Charizard EX, okay. So this is a high tier matchup for sure, very consistent, especially if they set up their Pidgeot EX and even just their Charizard EX. They can just accelerate a bunch of energies and start attacking as early as their second turn. So with what we have, at least I can use my Ultra Ball probably just to get my Bidoof, and then going into my second turn I could start to draw extra cards. But my opponent will definitely get the first prize if they can set up an attacker going into their second turn. Okay, they're gonna go for a Manaphy, which is actually really useless against our deck. We don't really specialize in hitting their bench. My opponent does have a Bell VIP pass. That's going to allow them to get 2 more basic Pokemon onto their bench. So they have Rotom V and another Charmander. And they're just going to use Instant Charge, the ability of Rotom V, to help them draw 3 cards to end their turn. We got another basic Pokemon, which is really great. So at least we know we will survive another turn or 2. And unfortunately, I'll just have to use this Ultra Ball to get a Bidoof. And yeah, that's pretty much all I could do. This is really rough start, but unfortunately it is part of the game. RNG just sometimes is not on your side. And my opponent will be able to evolve into a Charizard EX. Now they can use Infernal Rain, accelerate those fire energies from their deck, and they can energize their Pokemon. They can attack with Charizard EX, and they're gonna start taking one prize at a time. Thankfully, they're only taking one prize, but the way our setup is right now, I'm really relying on Bibarel to help me draw into like an Iono or something. That way I can set up my other basic Pokemon. We especially need to set up our SPIDOPS EX lineup. At least we can take maybe 2 prizes. And they're gonna evolve into another Charizard EX, and this time it is the shiny one. I hate to admit it, guys, but that card actually looks gorgeous. Look at that. I would really like one in real life, to be honest with you, but we'll see. Did you guys purchase the PALDEAN FATES products in real life? Did you find a Charizard EX, the shiny one? Let me know in the comments below. Of course, this set is really small. It's more for collectors. We know that it consists a lot of shiny Pokemon cards, which a lot of collectors like to collect, of course. Different types of colors. My opponent is gonna boss my Bidoof. Dude, that's my lifeline. What is wrong with you? Oh man, I'm probably just gonna concede this if it doesn't work out. But you know what I could do is just, if I can just get an energy, maybe a fighting energy, accelerate to Grapploct, and be able to put that status or condition to my opponent's Charizard EX and slowly just knock them out, because they don't have any switching cards. They will have to do hard retreats, and they will lose those energies and maybe prevent them from attacking. But we got an Artisan from our top deck, which is really nice. And I'm just gonna have to start over and get another Bidoof and end my turn. I don't want to evolve my active because my opponent could just pick it out, and unless I have that fighting energy, I can't really attack. So I'm hoping they can't evolve into a Pidgeot EX, because once they do, they could just get boss orders and then just pick off my Bidoof, and I'm just gonna get locked out. But thankfully, they're just gonna use an Arven, so that means they can't use a boss orders. Our Bidoof will survive. We can evolve into Bibarel next turn, and hopefully we can start creating some havoc against our opponent here. But we have a pretty bad start. My opponent will get their second prize at the end of this turn, so not sure what I'm not sure what I can do here. Rare candy and a vitality band. Okay, that's gonna increase their attack by 10 more damage. Accelerate another fire energy to their Charmander on the bench, and they're just gonna attack 190 damage, knocking out our Clobopus. And what we're gonna do is just promote this guy in the active. Boss's orders. Okay. Let me evolve my Bibarel first. Evolve Grapploct. Hopefully I can draw into a basic fighting energy. Let me use Artisan to... Actually, let me get a Tarantula. That way I can start evolving into Spidops EX, but I gotta find it first. I'm just gonna thin out my hand here. I'm just gonna boss this guy, and then use Industrious Incisors for 4. And we didn't get it, bro. Okay, let me get another Clobopus, and then I can use Level Ball to get another... I can get another Tarantula. And use this, get my boss back, and then end my turn. I am gonna lose my Grapploct in the active though, which is really sad. I'll have to find another evolution for my second Grapploct. This is a really bad start, guys. I don't know if we can win this one. They're gonna use a Yono though. And I'm okay with that. That's actually gonna help us draw into 6 cards. Alright, okay. We got some energies though, which is really good. At least we can get our fighting energy finally. And then just gotta find those evolution Pokemon. Okay. Alright. Here we go. Got a level ball. Okay. Get another one of these guys. And then what I could do is I'd actually use Luxurious Cape to add HP. Let me go ahead and put it in the active. I could possibly survive an attack here, because Charizard EX is only dealing 180 damage with that. As long as we can evolve into a Grapploct, okay? Hopefully, hopefully we find it. Let me use Iono first. They'll draw 3, we'll draw 6, and okay, cool. We got a Grapploct, we have SPIDOPS EX, which is really awesome. You can even use that to attack, like I said. And then I'm going to sacrifice these 2 to get another SPIDOPS EX. So now my opponent is going to have a hard time retreating their Pokemon. And I'm just going to, let's see, one of these, and then at least one Grass Energy so I can attack with SPIDOPS EX. Use Bibarel. Let me use Artisan first. That way we can put basic Pokemon on our bench. So now we have 3 lines of Grapploct, Industrious Incisors, a bunch of Arvins, and we're just going to use Slow Acting Syncope. Deal 30 damage to their active Charizard EX, and at the end of their turn, if they cannot retreat it, it will get knocked out and get our first 2 prizes. And thanks to the Luxurious Cape, I don't think there's any way they can knock out our active Grapploct. We just gotta get it out of the active after our turn, because my opponent will get an extra prize if they knock out my Grapploct with an attack, and that's gonna put us down to 1. That's gonna put them down to 1 prize. So if we use another Grapploct, we could just lose the game. So here it is. The Slow Acting Syncope worked, knocked out their shiny Charizard EX, getting us our first 2 prizes. Alright, so there you have it, guys. That's the first showcase for this Grapploct, which is really awesome. Now, going into our turn, my opponent has to choose the Pokemon they will put in the active spot, and it is ultimately in danger of getting knocked out again. With no energy and no way to evolve into another Grapploct though, I wish I could just switch out my active. That way I'll only be losing 1 prize as opposed to 2. And then we got our Technical Machine Crisis Punch. Okay. Let's see what we could do here. I could use Avery, have them discard another card, but then they're probably just gonna discard Manaphy. Let's see. Could just use Iono, I guess. Disrupt their hand, because maybe if they can't evolve into a Pidgeot EX, it could be really good for us. Okay, really bad hand here. Well, maybe they can't retrieve their Pidgey, right? Another Battle VIP pass. Bro, that's not what we need. Let's go ahead and use Slow Acting Syncope. If they can't evolve this Pidgey is going to get knocked out. But if they evolve it, of course the effect will be nullified. But then again, if they evolve into Pidgeot EX, we still have our 2 SPIDOPS EX, and that's gonna put 2 retreat costs onto their Pidgeot EX. Even though it has free retreats, it actually has it will gain 2 retreat costs. So it's not gonna be easy for them to just pivot out of the active spot. But thankfully we do have boss orders. We could technically, I'm thinking boss their Rotom V, get another 2 prizes. Because like I said, with minimal switching cards. Okay, cool. So that will knock out Pidgey. We get another prize, right? Without any switching cards. Hopefully my opponent doesn't use a lot of them. We could possibly just take out a lot more prizes. So now at the end of their turn, it's going into our turn. We have full control here because we have boss orders. They're going to present their Charmander in the active spot, hoping to lose only one prize, but with no other way for us to draw into any more cards, I'm just going to target this Rotom and use slow acting Syncope once more. Hopefully my opponent can't retreat it. We'll get 2 more prizes for this, and then after that, at the end of their turn, we can use boss orders to target one of their other Pokemon that cannot attack. Thanks to SPIDOPS EX, they're really having a hard time retreating. I mean, I haven't seen any retreat switching cards on their discard pile yet, so I don't know, they might have 1 or 2, but they can't seem to find it. And I'm grateful that they're not able to evolve into a Pidgeot EX, otherwise they'll have more control probably. But they're going to boss. If they can switch out, we can actually lose here. And with 3 prizes that we've taken, I think their Charizard EX can deal a knockout against our SPIDOPS EX. So this is pretty dangerous. But no, they're just gonna instant charge, but that's gonna knock out their Rotom V for another 2 prizes. This is insane. This is crazy. Alright. Slowly but surely, the fact that the instant knockout comes right after your opponent's turn makes a real big difference, actually. Okay, we got a reversal energy, which doesn't really take effect because we have more prizes. We've taken more prizes than they have, but thankfully we have a switch. So even if we lose 2 prizes, if they knock out our Grapploct here, we will still be knocking out this Charizard EX. However, the safe route is to just get one of these Pokemon in the active and just use slow acting Syncope and knock them out. If they can't retreat it, that's it, we win. And with SPIDOPS EX with a single fighting energy onto it already, all we need is a grass energy. If we can draw into it, we should be able to knock out their Charizard EX if it comes to that. Otherwise, we will knock out, or this Manaphy will get knocked out at the end of their turn. Can they switch it is the question. Can they switch it out? They're going to use Iono. We're going to get 1 card. They draw 3. Can they evolve into Pidgeot EX? Dude, we got a Raihan. That's that's a perfect card. Even if they knock out our Grapploct, we can use Raihan to accelerate an energy. And we can even get another energy and use, perhaps use the technical machine and use the Crisis Punch to get a knockout maybe. But yeah, if they can't switch out their Manaphy, that's it. They can't use, that's it! That's it! We win the game! Against Charizard EX, guys. There you have it. Grapploct gets us a win against Charizard EX. Good game. Alright, moving on to our next match. This time we got 2 Tarantulas, so we're going to start with, and a Battle VIP Pass, which is a really nice start. And my opponent will mulligan. They are using Tsareena EX. Okay. Alright, we got 1 extra card, which is an Iono from their mulligan. So first things first, let's go ahead and use Battle VIP Pass here. Get our first Clobbopus and Bidoof for sure. And just going to put an energy to Tarantula. We can attack with Spidops on our second turn once we evolve it. So this looks to be a Lost Zone engine matched up with Tsareena EX. Okay, very interesting. Very scary. I think I've seen a video of this one, and yeah, so the danger with this matchup, if my opponent can use Tsareena EX to lower my HP down to 30, and they have Panic Mask, a Vanillux, or something like that, that's gonna prevent us from attacking. And then, since this is a Lost Zone engine, I'm pretty sure they're gonna take advantage of Sableye, and they can just spread the damage and be able to take a bunch of prizes in a single attack, which is really dangerous here. So for now, they are just building up the cards in their Lost Zone with their Comface. And if they can get up to 4, they can use their Cramorant to attack. They have Beach Court, which reduces the retreat cost by 1. And that's actually going to affect the disruption of our SPIDOPS EX a little bit. So far my opponent has 3, so I don't think they can attack with Cramorant just yet. Unless they have another way to get more cards in the Lost Zone. Colress Experiment would really be useful. But thankfully they can't evolve into their Tsareena EX just yet, and they're just gonna end their turn. Okay. Got another Bidoof. Okay, let's go ahead and evolve into Grapploct. Evolve SPIDOPS EX. Then we can attack. Take a knockout. Their Cramorant cannot knock out our SPIDOPS EX just yet. I'm just gonna sacrifice those 2 for a Bibarel. That way we can have a continuous draw every turn. Okay, so we got Manaphy, which I don't think is necessary in this matchup, because Tsareena EX, that is an effect of an attack, so Manaphy's not gonna protect us from that. So we're just gonna use Wire Hang to knock out this Comfey, get our first prize, get ahead in the price exchange. All right, and we got our Reversal Energy from that. Cool. All right, so let's see what my opponent does here. I was actually thinking of putting another Reversal Energy in this deck, but I think 1 will suffice. Because at the end of the day, sometimes, or actually most of the time, you will be ahead in the price exchange. So, Reversal Energy comes once in a while, but there is potential where you can just energize your Pokemon, especially with Raihan. And SPIDOPS EX requires 2 energies, so just add 1 more. You can use the Technical Machine Crisis Punch for that final attack if you need to. My opponent will use Iono, shuffling our hand back to the deck. Draw 5. Okay, this is actually a good hand because now we can bump out their Beach Court, making it a lot harder for them to retreat their Pokemon. Then we have a bunch of level balls to set up our other basic Pokemon. So there goes Tsareena EX, reducing our HP down to 30. And that Sableye is just staring us down, basically. Just gonna retreat my SPIDOPS EX. Hopefully we can get our hands on a Fighting Energy so that we can use on our Grapploct. We just set up another Clobbopus on the bench. And then just gonna get rid of these 2 to get another SPIDOPS EX. Whether or not we can attack with SPIDOPS is fine. Then I'm gonna use Artisan to get a Squovit. That way I can draw, hopefully, into the Fighting Energy that I need here. Come on, Squovit. We got Manaphy. Draw 4. Come on, Bibarel. Give me a Fighting Energy. Alright, cool. We got an Earthen Vessel. Let's get rid of this Battle VIP. And we can get Grass Energy as well. Okay, let's go ahead and put that there. I can use Avery, which is really great for having my opponent discard until they have only 3 Pokemon left in their bench, which is really great because even if they discard Comfey, that's gonna prevent them from searching any more cards from their deck and putting them in the lost zone. So now that Grapploct is able to use slow acting Syncope, we have 2 SPIDOPS EX, so that's gonna increase their retreat cost by 4. So they need a switching card, but you know what? The Lost Zone box actually has a lot of switching cards, so I think this is a really bad matchup for us, but we'll see. We'll see. With Tsareena EX in the active, as long as they can't retreat it, we have a switch in our hand, so we can switch it out. And at the end of their turn, the Tsareena EX will be knocked out if they can't switch it. There's a Beach Court, but that only works on basic Pokemon. So let's see what my opponent will be able to do. They only have 7 cards in the Lost Zone, so they're 3 cards away from being able to use their Sableye. And they're just going to use Icicle Soul, probably on this SPIDOPS. 230 damage. But our slow-acting Syncope will take effect. And that's going to knock out their Tsareena EX for 2 prizes. Alright, we got 2 more prizes. We got Luxurious Cape. And this is actually pretty dangerous because I can see what my opponent is doing here. Despite them not being able to take any prizes, they're just going to end this match with a single attack and take out all of our guys. So what I'm going to do is actually put the cape on Squovit, increasing it by 100 HP, and then evolving my Grapploct. So going to just keep knocking out their Pokemon, I guess. I could trap this Comfey, but you know what? Let me put Sableye in the active spot because they don't have 10 cards in the Lost Zone just yet. So they can't attack with the Sableye. If they can't retreat it, we can just take it out, get another prize, and then go from there. Okay, we got a boss. Alright, let's go ahead and use Industrious Incisors. 2 Grapplocks. Okay, very nice. Slow acting Syncope deals 0 damage because of the resistance, but that's fine. The effect will still be on this Sableye, so at the end of their turn, it will get knocked out if they can't get it out of the active spot. So the whole plan here for my opponent is they just keep using Icicle Soul to reduce our HP down to 30, and even though we have a bunch of 1 prizers as well, if they can get 2 more down to 30, their Sableye can actually deal or distribute up to 12 damage counters once they have 10 cards in the Lost Zone. That Lost Mine can take out 4 of our Pokemon. So 2 for each of our Spidops, that's 4, and then 2 more of our single prize Pokemon. They can get all 6 prizes in a single turn. So that's probably what they're doing here. But if we can get ahead in the prize, we should be okay. There's the switch. Man, but they had to expend a lot of energies just to do that. But that's okay. Still though, we still need 3 more prizes, which makes it really odd. Now with Colress Experiment, they have all the cards they need in the Lost Zone. They can just use this Sableye and knock out our Spidops EX, and then, you know, our disruption will be taken out, and it's going to be a lot easier for my opponent to basically just retreat whenever they want, and it's going to be a lot harder for us to knock out their Pokemon. But they're just going to end their turn, okay, because they already used their retreat on Sableye. So I'm just going to power this guy up, I guess, and then Nest Stash for now. I can bump out their beach court. That way it's going to be a lot harder for them to retreat. Draw 5. And then... I don't know if I want to use Arvin. There's really nothing I want to use here. I could use Palpad to recover my boss orders and maybe Avery. But I don't really need to. So I'm just going to use slow acting Syncope here. And this Comfey, because they already have 10 cards in the law zone anyways. 2 switch. Okay. So I'm pretty sure they have a lot more switching options here. But I'm not sure if they can draw into it. Especially they have limited draws. And Comfey will be stuck in the active if they don't have any switch. But that's what makes it a little bit dangerous though, if they can get their Sableye powered up into the active spot. They can take out both of our SPIDOPS EX, and then they can get 4 prizes right then and there, and then just spread the other damage to our other Pokemon. But thankfully with the Luxurious Cape, it's going to be a lot harder for them to take 2 consecutive knockouts with Sableye on our other single prize Pokemon. So they evolve into Tsareena EX, and that could be our target. If they don't get this Comfey out of the active, it gets knocked out at the end of their turn, then we can just trap their Tsareena EX for the last 2 prizes. Again, if my opponent is not careful here, we might have this game already. Okay, cool. So the instant knockout will take effect against this Comfey. We get another prize. And then that's going into our turn. And all we need is 2 more. That's all we need. A boss's orders. There we go. Let's go ahead and boss this Tsareena EX into the active spots. And we can even attack with SPIDOPS EX if we need to. Prepare for that Crisis Punch if we need to. But for now, we're going to use Grapploct to use slow acting Syncope and put this instant knockout effect on Tsareena EX at the end of their turn. If they don't retreat it, we will get our last 2 prizes to win this match. It's just a matter of time. Now that my opponent doesn't have any way to retreat or draw into more cards, that could be it. What I'd really like to do though is actually showcase Technical Machine Crisis Punch. They're gonna boss my SPIDOPS EX, probably get 2 prizes for that. Okay, but that's it. At the end of their turn, they will get knocked out. They're gonna get 2 prizes for that, but you know what? That's it. Alright, we're gonna keep playing until we get to showcase the TM Crisis Punch. But there you have it, guys. Grapploct is too good. It's too good. And that's gonna get us our 2 prizes for the win. Good game. Alright, let's move on to our next match. I think I'm gonna put Manaphy in the active spot. That way I can keep my Tarantula safe on the bench. We also have Balvi at P-Pass, which is really great. And we are going first in this match. So first things first, we gotta set up our draw engine and 1 copy of Clobbopus. Can put this basic grass energy to this Tarantula. We can attack with SPIDOPS EX next turn and get our first prize. Maybe we also have a switch, which is really great. So I'm still trying to showcase the Crisis Punch tool card in this deck, which is actually really helpful. But there are a few ways you can use it. Of course, just powering up your SPIDOPS EX or maybe Clobbopus. Raihan also helps late game. When one of your Pokemon gets knocked out, you can accelerate an energy and then find 1 more card from the deck or the reversal energy. But that one is only useful when you attach it to Grapploct, because you can't use it on a Pokemon with a rule box on it. So you can use that late game, but you can only use that tool card if your opponent has 1 prize card remaining. So it's really tough to showcase, but it is doable. Anyways, my opponent is using Gholdengo EX build. This is actually, I think, a really easy matchup, hopefully. Because Gholdengo EX relies a lot on just having a lot of energies in their deck and not a lot of switching cards. So we might be able to easily trap them in the active. Let's go ahead and evolve into SPIDOPS EX. And then I'm going to use switch into the active, this Clobopus. And then I can use Iono. I think I'd like to trap one of their Pokemon in the active, but I can't use 2 support cards in a turn, and we really need that draw engine. Okay, we got Tarantula, just nice, and let's set up another Grapploct because we need a constant attacker every turn. I'm gonna sacrifice these 2 for a Bibarel. Hopefully I can draw into Grapploct. I can power up the active. But if I do and not draw into Grapploct, that's going to be a waste. So let me go ahead and just use Bibarel. Ugh, okay. That's exactly what I meant. Well, we got another Grass Energy. I might as well just power up my other Tarantula. And then just end my turn. So now my opponents will be able to evolve into a lot of their other Pokemon. I guess Gholdengo EX, they have 3 of them. And being able to match that with Palkia, V-Star allows them to accelerate energy, especially to Radiant Greninja. Take multiple knockout. Thankfully, we have Manaphy in this deck. I am torn between keeping Jirachi in this build. Manaphy is definitely a must, but I don't know, the Lost Box engine is pretty popular too, so I don't know what else I can sacrifice in place of Jirachi. Maybe another Battle VIP pass. It's hit and miss for Battle VIP. It is rotating out though in March. It has the mark E. Anything with an E on the bottom of the card is rotating out this March. So my opponent will take a knockout with their Gholdengo EX. And let's see if we can find a Grapploct. We have an energy. Got an Iono. Okay. I can use Arven too, which is a guarantee if we have an Ultra Ball, which is great. Okay, cool. And a Luxurious Cape could help us out here, actually. But my opponent can't take 2 prizes. But if they don't have enough energy, we might be able to survive. So, I think I'm going to take a risk. I could take a risk. Yeah, I'll take a risk. So 220 HP on Grapploct. Bibarel will draw 4. We got another Spidops. Great. Okay, cool. Jirachi, it's not going to be useful in this match. Go ahead and use Slow Acting Syncope for 30 damage. And that's going to lock my opponent in. Because Gholdengo EX now have 4 retreat costs. It's not going to be easy for them to just get it out of the active. Unless they have a switch, it will get knocked out at the end of their turn. But I am kind of regretting Grapploct here, putting that Luxurious Cape. Because now my opponent can just get 2 prizes. Avery. Oh, man. I guess I could sacrifice Manaphy. Because all of my Pokemon have high HP anyway, so they're not taking multiple knockouts with this Greninja, so we should be okay. Alright, but the problem is we don't have any Grapploct lines. We need more attackers on our bench, which is really bad, but Gholdengo EX is resistant to grass. That's another problem. So let's see. Let's see how this plays out. My opponent has their Palkia V-Star fully energized. And they're just gonna attack, make it rain. With all that car, I'm pretty sure they're gonna get a knockout here. 150? Yo, our Grapploct survives. And the instant knockout takes effect for 2 prizes. There you have it. So you got 2 prizes for that. Very nice. Gotta be doof. Super Rod for recovery. We can also recover our Manaphy if we need to. And they're gonna put their Palkia V-Star in the active. Thankfully, we have level balls, so we can set up another Grapploct line. And I'm just gonna thin out my hand as much as I can here. That way I can draw. And go ahead and just boss this guy. That way they can't attack, even though our Grapploct has 150 damage to it already. Well, I mean, Gholdengo EX requires 1 energy, but still. 2 for 2, right? We got 2 last turn. Even if they knock out our Grapploct here, they'll get 2 prizes, but we also get 2 at the end of their turn, so we're pretty much I think we're in a good position here. Let's see what happens. I mean, if we continue to be behind on prizes, I really want to use that Crisis Punch. I think it's possible. Just gotta get our right hand in our hand somehow. Can accelerate an energy, get another energy, and then equip the technical machine to deal a knockout blow on one of their 2 prizers. Okay, they're also using Galarian Berserker. I guess that makes sense. With all that card in their hand, that's a lot of damage. Okay, they're gonna attack with this Gholdengo EX, unable to retreat. They will knock out our Grapploct. They will get 2 prizes for that because of the luxurious cape. But because they didn't retreat this Gholdengo EX, it will also get knocked out thanks to the slow acting Syncope. And we get 2 prizes as well. So 2 for 2, guys. There you have it. And we're down to just 2 more prizes to go. We got a Grapploct from that. Nice. So whatever they present in the active, it could be the end for them. Especially if they can switch out whatever Pokemon they have in the active. They have Radiant Greninja. And all we have to do is use Grapploct here. Get Manaphy to protect our bench. And then another Fighting Energy. Let's see, maybe I can thin out my hand here somehow. I can use Earthen Vessel. I have basic energy already, so I just gonna fail that. And then put that on SPIDOPS EX. Jirachi here. And then oh, we got Clara, but now we don't have Manaphy and stuff, so okay. We're just gonna use Arven then. Can use Level Ball and Crisis Punch. We're gonna get it ready. And then Manaphy on the bench. Okay, and then yeah, I'm probably just gonna attack with Grapploct here. So with 2 cards on, or 2 energies on SPIDOPS EX, I could just use SPIDOPS to get that 3 energy requirement, and then use this Crisis Punch to deal 280 damage to any of their Pokemon. That's what makes Technical Machine Crisis Punch really strong. 280 is actually really great to some EX Pokemon. You know, the Stage 1 EX Pokemon have about that 280 range, even the V-Stars. Or the basic EX Pokemon, making it really easy to knock out one of your opponent's 2 prize Pokemon at the end of the game. When your opponent needs only 1 prize but you need 2, it could just close out the game that way. So even if my opponent manages to maybe boss one of our SPIDOPS EX or something like that, we should be able to just knock out their attacker and get the win. But we'll see what they do. I'm pretty sure they have boss orders. They have a lot of cards in their hand, dude. That is a lot of cards. $15 cards. Alright, they're gonna use Star Portal. Okay, Radiant Greninja gets it. They're not gonna knock out our Grapploct because we have 120 HP and we have Manaphy to protect our bench, so we are good. We survive an attack. Their Radiant Greninja gets knocked out at the end of the turn. Alright, we get one more prize. And we got a Raihan. That is actually a really good card to have. So now it's our turn. I could just use Slow Acting Syncope to finish up this game. Again, if my opponent can't retreat their Palkia V-Star, we win this game. They have a boss orders. They're gonna target my SPIDOPS EX with 2 energies. Oh no. I guess it's fine. I have Raihan. I can accelerate to one of my other Pokemon, then just take a knockout with Crisis Punch. I don't think they can knock out. Oh, okay. Okay, Escape Rope. Let me go ahead and sacrifice my SPIDOPS EX, my other one. That way I can... I'm so evil. That way I can showcase the Technical Machine Crisis Punch. They will attack with Gholdengo EX, and with so much energy available to them, they can definitely deal a one-hit knockout against our SPIDOPS EX. But unbeknownst to my opponent, we can take a knockout against this Gholdengo EX, or any of their 2 prizers actually. But we're gonna go ahead and use our Grapploct here. We can use Raihan to accelerate an energy, and then find another energy from our deck to fully energize. Well, no, we can't use reversal energy. I mean, we can, but just to be sure, go ahead and use another fighting energy. Then use this Technical Machine Crisis Punch to deal 280 damage. And that gets us our last prize for the win. There you have it. I finally was able to showcase Crisis Punch. That's unbelievable. Good game. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to smash the like button for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching the Popsicleknight channel, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.